Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I have very happy New Year to all of you who have joined today. We're experiencing a little number today as compared to the other sessions of our Microsoft applications, uh, but that won't be a problem. We're gonna start with Microsoft Access, and Khurram, as usual, will be our trainer today. He's going to touch some basics and fundamentals regarding the functionalities of Microsoft Access. We're going to discuss how databases are created in Access, how these databases are managed, how data entries are performed in Access, uh, somewhat a basic knowledge towards what Microsoft Access really is. So let's just dive into it. And the next voice would be Khurram's. Khurram is experiencing some issues with his webcam because all of us are joining from home today. So you will be able to see Khurram's screen and hear his voice. And I'll be dealing with any question and answers today. So over to you, Khurram.
Okay, thank you very much, Feroz. Okay, welcome to all and Happy New Year to everyone. Uh, okay, are you audible to everyone? Please
Yes,
respond
you're
me.
audible.
Okay, fine. And what about my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so it means you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, fine. Okay. Let me take an overview of today's agenda. What we will be doing today.
Khurram,
Okay.
is your screen paused?
Yep.
Do you check if your screen is paused or you're
Yes.
not doing
Okay. My screen is paused. Let me. Okay.
resume?
So okay. The mouse. The movement of the mouse is visible.
Now it's visible.
Okay. Fine. Okay, guys. Let's take an overview of what we'll try to do today. Okay, we will discuss the basic concept of what database is, and then we will apply the concepts of databases using Microsoft Access. In Microsoft Access, we will be discussing four basic aspects rather. Uh, the one is the database what is involved in the database. There are tables, there are records, right? How to create those records, how to develop, design a database structure and the table structure, right? Uh, then we will look into the various properties of the tables. After that, we will see how we can enter data to the database. There are two different ways to do that in Access. One is very easy and other is also very easy. Uh, then we will move towards the form creation, that how we can view data using a mouse, how we can uh, mm, use form to do operations using the buttons. Uh, we insert few buttons on the forms, and by clicking a form, a particular operation will be performed. We will look into it how we can do that. Then we will be dealing with the report generation. Once the data is in the table, in the data, then we can print uh, this data as a report. We can then move towards the query, the most important component of any database. Query is technically to the question we are posing to the database. That we want, for example, the question may be the list of all records having a based on certain condition or multiple conditions, right? So these are some of the things that we will be doing today, right? So this is the basic agenda. Uh, I I think okay, fine. Okay, what database is? Uh, I will take a minute or two on the basic concept, of the database. Okay, database is a concept that deals with uh, the storage of the data and on the at a particular location in a structured way, and whenever we need that data, it is there for us, right? So that is a database. So it is actually a place where we put data for later use. Now the question is, what is needed to do that? We need to have a database program. Few of the programs which are popular in market, SQL, there is Oracle, right? So these are the two of MySQL and obviously Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is one of the component of Microsoft Office Suite. It is used for small companies. You may find the application of Microsoft Access maybe in some sort of a pharmacy or maybe a small departmental store. There is a cash register, a software that is developed
Sonam, I
in.
guess your screen is paused again.
No, it's not.
It's not paused. Sorry, carry on.
Okay. Okay, fine. So some of the application that you might have seen in small offices, maybe small departmental stores, small pharmacies. There is a cash register and all the records of the office is there, and the cash whenever the transaction is done, uh, the data is recorded, and the receipt is come out, right? So this is what uh, it is. So for SQL and Oracle, these are huge databases. It is for big companies, huge companies, right? That's it. So what I'm doing now, I will be creating a very small database just to give you an overview of what database is, how we can develop database, how we can maintain database, and how we can use database. Interestingly, the, use, usage of Microsoft Excel and the capabilities that enhancing in uh, Microsoft Excel, the usage of Microsoft Access is getting down. People are using Microsoft Excel instead of Microsoft Access. But there are certain functionalities of Microsoft Access which are very good, such as the form generation, form creation. In Microsoft Excel, and the form development is a bit tedious, but here you can see within few clicks we can develop a very decent uh, form, right? So let's begin with Microsoft Access application. Uh, Hopefully you have the Microsoft Access application in your laptops or your machines. Whenever you activate your or execute this application, this screen should come up, right? So it says we have home, new, and open. New means we are creating a new database, and open, we are opening an existing database, right? So let's create a blank database, right? So it's a new or a blank. So click the blank. Once we click the blank database, okay, you will have this interface in front of you, right? Look at, if you compare it with the Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word interface, somewhat the ribbon and the status bar are similar to it, but the ribbon, in the ribbon, the functions are different, but the concept of the design and the layout is the same. Okay, fine. Uh, Now, in a database, there can be multiple tables. So we can have multiple tables within a single database. If you look at here, we have a button called Create. In this, there are the four components of Microsoft Access. One is known as the table. With the help of this, we can many tables depending on the requirement of our problem. Uh, we can create tables from here. Then there is the queries. I told you that query is an important component of any database, or rather one of the most important. You have the data, you are asking different type of questions to the database, and these query will pull data based on that query and give it to you. So we will see that how we can use this component to fetch data from the database. Then the third component is the forms, that how uh, develop form to get the data, to enter the data, right? And also to perform different operations on the data using form. Then the last component is the report, how we can construct a decent report, uh, right? Either based on the query or uh, today's agenda is this, that we will be doing these four components. And the last thing, that if we have multiple tables within a database and we want to pull data from few of the tables runtime, how we can do that, that is based on the concept of if we will build a relation among the tables uh, of a database, so that we can get the data, we can pull data from multiple tables at runtime. Uh, this concept is important, and we will revisit this concept in other session, like, right? So we will see uh, how we can do that. First of all, let's define our problem, that what we want to do. For example, I want to create uh, a database for maybe an HR office. Employee I want to create. Uh, my requirement is that right now it should have one table, maybe two tables for some other object. I can use the content of other tables in my employee data table. Let's see how we can develop this table. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to create a table. So if we click the table, right, first of all, what you need to do, you need to click that tab. Once you do that, you will see that you have you have a table group. In the table group, you should see there are two table and table design. Now, by default, the table name is table 1 and table 2. And if we create another table, it would be so and so forth, right? So let me delete the one. Okay. So let me, first of all, there are two tables. I need to close this. Okay, remember, I may be using this first of whenever I have to uh, delete a table, a report, or a form, that I have to close that report or a table, right? Then I can delete the table or whatever component of the database. Okay, fine. Now I click the table. So if you look at here, I have all access object. So I'm not going the nitty-gritty of the ribbons and the stuff. I'm just going towards the most required uh, the components of the interface of access. So if you look at here, I have all access objects here. So we know that in Microsoft, uh, at the back end, it is object-oriented the concept. Everything is an object. So table is an object, query is an object, form is an object, and report is an object as well. So we will be dealing with the objects and the connectivity and the communication among the different. So the first object that we are dealing with is the table. So if you click table, right, we will have the table. And now, if you look at here, there are one column which is ID number. In a table, I want to create few columns that will define the record of my employee. So if you look at here, if I click the uh, table design, just I click the table design and you can see I move to the table 1 or the table 2. So this is, let me close this, right? And I want to work with table 1. So when I click on table 1, you can see I have different views. One is the data sheet view and other is the design view. Data sheet is just like an Excel view, right? We have the column labels, just like A, B, C, and then we have the rows. We have the rows and the columns. It's just like the Excel view. But right now, what is required is the design view. If you click the design view, then it will ask for the table name that I want to put. Let it be employee info. Employee info, EMPI info is the name of the table, right, that I'm creating. And remember, this is not the name of the database, right? It is the table within the database. If I file save as database, right? I need to save it as file, right? Then it may be employee database. So there are two things. So this is employee database. Employee database is a database that may contain different tables. So one of the table is employee table. So I have this table and I want to design this table. Now, if I click view, then select the design view, this will give me an table design view option. Now, if you look at here, I have field name description. You may remember when we were discussing the pivot tables, I told you that field, the concept of field is derived from the database. So you can see the field name. In Excel, for example, if I want to create a table, I have to design a field as well, describe the field as well. I need to define it properly, right? Then now, this is by default the ID. To have want this, I can have this, right? For example, I don't want to have this. Then select, then delete rows. It will be deleted. Now, the first field name is maybe the employee code. So this is the employee code. Now, employee code is a field name within a table that contain which type of data. Here we can have to define. So this is the short text. If I click here, it will give me a drop down list uh, that we may have a different options, different data types. The short text means that if the small amount of to put in the field, the long text, maybe the more than 250 six character long, etc. Then I have a number, then a large number, then I have date time extended, maybe the time with the time spent, timestamp. Then I have the currency, auto number, yes, no, etc. We do uh, mm, work with some of other data types today. Now the second one is maybe the name. So this is the name. This is also the short text. Then we may have another, maybe the designation, and we have the short as well. Then we have the department maybe, and we have the short text here as well. Then we have the status may be the part-time, the full-time, or whatever that you want to look into. Then maybe the join date, and we may have now this time I have the date time. Then have maybe let it be the basic salary. The basic salary. Basic salary may be the number, right? The currency or whatever that you want. So let it be number. Okay, so the first table, which is the employee code, may contain these fields. Now we will create another table for a designation and for a department. Let me create one more. Create table, and this is the table for department design view. Let it be department DPT. So only two I will be creating. I don't. Okay, fine. Be the same. Then I have another that is DEPT, and it is the short text. Now what I'm doing now, I am end right over here. So view data, I need to save it, right? So this is saved, and here I'm entering the data. For example, there are 3, 4. The first one is finance, right? Then the second one is marketing department. The fourth one may be the HR department, and the fifth one may be the admin department. So these are the four values in this table. FIN, MKT for marketing, HR for human resource, and AD, M for admin department. And now I will save it. So I'm saving it. So the values in this table is now generated. I will making use of these um, values in my employee information when I will enter the value. Now go back to this table in the view, datasheet view, sorry, not the datasheet view, the design view. Okay. Now the last thing as far as the design of the table is concerned. If you look at here, this is the data type, this is the name of the field, this is the data type. But if you look at here, you may see that these are the different properties that are associated with the employee. First of all, what we need to do, we need to set the identify key, or which is known as the primary key. Primary key is a unique key that contains no duplicate, and the database or any database software can ensure that if a particular or a field is set as a primary key, then it won't accept any duplicate values, right? So I can set it by selecting employee code and putting pressing the right button. You can see a menu pop up, and we have the primary key. If you click the primary key, the symbol of key is mm, appear at the left of the employee code. Now, employee code is set as the primary key, and in this column of the employee key, no values of employee code will be duplicated, and uh, it is uh, care of by the database itself. We don't need to have write any algorithm or anything else. So that's the first thing. And there is another use of primary key, and that is we can create a relationship with the primary key. So these are the two important aspects of the primary key. Now look at the designations, right? I have this designation, and the properties here, as you may see, that in this field there are 255 characters I can set. So I can get maximum of 255 characters right over here. This is say in order to reduce the data size or the record size of the database, what we can do, we can create, for example, 25. In your requirement analysis, when you analyze your problem of developing a database, it is imperative, it is important to look the type of the data and the size of the characters that the field value may contain. So it is a general research that like name, the maximum length of the character that a name contain is around 25. Uh, are always there, but in majority of the cases, the 25 length of the name character is okay. But if it is designation, designation may be supervisor, maybe manager, maybe officer, maybe anything else. So it may not be more than maybe 20 characters. So it has to be 20 characters. Let it be 20 characters, right? Format, we are not setting the format, although we can set the format here, but the default value, for example, the designation, the default value may be, we are putting the term manager here. This is the manager. Whenever in the form or in the data sheet view, we want to enter some value, this will be there as well. So validation rules means that we are putting a value, we are inserting a condition here that whenever we enter a value, that condition should be set. We will do that for the basic selfie, right? So let's come to the department. Now in the department, I will be using the value of department in the drop-down list. Now, if it is the lookup visit, this is right. Uh, what I have done in the department, in the data type, I select the lookup visit. In the lookup visit, it asks for two values. I want to look a field to get the value from another table. So that is the reason I have created this department. So I want to get value other table, which is the DEPT, whenever I make a data entry to employee information. So next, then department, the table is department. This is the table, and next right? The value will be department here and put it. So this is how it goes. And next, right, it may be descending, ascending, whatever you want to select. It is ascending, next, and then this is the value. This is uh, the value will be present in the drop-down list of the department. And next and finish. This is the department and finish. And this is the same. Okay, this is you cannot change the data type to field size of this field. Okay, fine. Now I have the status. So in the status, what can I do? Go to the lookup wizard, right? Do the same, but this time I will type in the value of I want. And next, so here is the column. I say the full time, and one is the part time. Part time. So these are values that should come whenever the status. So let me do this as well. This is the data type of this field was deleted. That's uh, then I have the number. So let me put the validation rule here. This is the validation I'm putting for the basic salary, that whenever we enter the data of basic salary, this the value must be greater than 0, for instance. So if I click this one, right, at the right side of the validation rule in this row, we have this. So here what we can do, this is the expression that I need to build. The basic salary has to be greater than or is greater than 0, right? So click OK, and I can set another rule as well, the validation text, and that is the value of basic salary should be greater than 0, right? So that what we have said. It means that when uh, someone tries to enter the value of the basic salary and it entered 0, this error message will pop, right? So that's it. Now save it. We have saved it, and then what we are trying to do, we go to the data sheet. So this is the data sheet. Now look at here what will happen. In the first case, we have set the default value of designation as whenever there is a new record, this field will contain the value is equal to manager, right? It is the default setting. Whenever we have the department, look at, we have the department, right? ADM, fine, HR, marketing, etc. Then here we have the status. There is a drop down which is known as the full time and the part time. So let's uh, enter two records from here. So maybe, for example, NKT. Then, okay, there is one thing more that I want to add here, but let me add this record. Forum, maybe the manager, or maybe the right, the department, one of those, maybe the HR status, maybe the part-time joining date. Now look at the joining date. Joining date, uh, since it is a date field, there is a date picker comes automatically, right? In earlier version, type it, but here we have the built-in date picker. If you click, then we have the date. We can pick it from here. Uh, go anywhere. For example, I, this is the first January 2021, last year, right? Then the basic salary. If you click, now the value of basic salary is 0. We have in place a validation criteria and the text that the value of basic salary should be greater than 0. So this is the error message that we have put in, and, and uh, uh, validation rule is checked, and we have the value 0 over here. When it is the case, this error message will pop up. Now click OK. Let it be, for example, 1,20,000. So 1,20,000 is the basic salary, whatever. Right now, what other thing that I have missed, that is that I want to add another field that can get the picture of the employee. So in a way, I need to change the design of the table. So click view, go to the design view. I want to add another field, which is employee picture. Oh yeah, only picture. And here, this time it is an attachment. Now this is the attachment, right? So this is attachment. Attach the image to this record. Now, what I'm doing, I have to save it, right? Go to datasheet view. Now I have the picture, now the Semlis picture. If I want to add attach picture to it, what I need to do, I need to just double click it, the attachment dialog box pop up, add it, and then go to the specified folder. For example, this data, the images, and this is the image, and click OK, and the image is now set. So one image is set. Now add another. This is the finance department. This is the Firoz, right? He's the manager. If he's in the finance department, he's full time. This is the full time, and the joining date may be somewhere in June, 1st June, right? His salary may be 1,50,000, the basic salary, and there is a picture. And in the image filter, there are few pictures here, maybe the smiley face, right? Click OK. We have set the picture. So this is one way of data entry. So what we have done so far, we have created a database in which there are two tables. We have created two tables. One is the employee info, and other is the DPT. Purpose of DEPT right now is to take value as a drop down in one of the fields to be used in employee info when we take the data entry, right? Then we have discussed that how we can the structure of the table, what is the data type of each field, and what are the properties of these. So that's what we have done so far. So anyone have any question right now, he or she may ask, because this is the first thing, the first part, what we have done, that is created a database with two tables in which one is the employee info. All the data will be resided of the employee in this table. Yes, any question, Feroz? If there is any question.
Yes, Asad Rafiq wants to know, can we create some sort of form to insert data in this database instead of inserting manually?
Okay. uh, that is the second part we are trying to do now. The first
Okay.
thing we have done, right? So his question will be answered. Is there any other question other than the form?
Yeah, Maria Sheikh wants, she wants you to repeat once. Just
Once what?
just give her a quick recap.
quick recap of what? We spent almost 30 minutes on the creation of
Yeah,
the data. We have, we have many steps involved. Then what step? Which step?
I think she just wants an overview, but Maria, you can visit the recordings if you want an overview of the whole thing. Muzaffar wants to know, can we get some, can we set more than one primary key?
Not in a table, but yes, in the database we can. In a database, as many table we have, we can set as many tables. But we can use the primary key more than uh, two primary keys, right, in another table. Be doing maybe in the second phase, how we can use the primary key, right? I'm not discussing in detail that, okay, there is called a candidate key, there is called the primary key. So we can, for some other complicated problem, we may use a primary key, the candidate key as a primary key, right? So then the nature of the problem will be different. So right now, I'm just discussing the very, very basic concept of creating a database and using the database, right? So I hope uh, that answers. Okay, fine. Let's move forward. So the first step is created. Now the second step is how we can create a form. So the purpose of form may be to view a particular record, to for a data entry, maybe to review a record for modification, for deletion, or maybe for printing purposes, right? So let's see how we can create a form. Now, to create a form, right, we have another, uh, we need to press the create button, then we have the form, right? Now, look at here, if I go to the employee, right, employee table, and yes, this is the employee table, and if I click the form, right, if I click the form, now look at here, when I click the form, the data is shown in the form. It created it automatically. So I've done nothing other than pressing a create button, and from the uh, create form in the form group, clicking the form. So 2 clicks, I have this form. Now in this form, what I can do, look at the record that I have. For example, here, if you look at this, I have 2 records, 1 and 2. I can move records. This is the second record, right? This is MKT. This is for okay. Employee code is there is a problem somewhere. We will correct it a little later. Okay. Now, with the help of this, you can move around the table of the records. We have 2 records. I can move to the next one. I can move to the last one, right? So this is the second record. If I want to add one more record, so I can click this one, the new blank record. So this is the new blank record. I can uh, add record if I want to, but right now I'm not record. So this is uh, that is how a simple form can be created. But I'm not using this form. If you look at here, there is an icon that is changed. We have the icon of table. This is the table. If I click, you will see this is the symbol for the table. This is the symbol for the form. This is the symbol for the form. So I'm closing it. This is closed. Do this. I don't want to save this. Rather, I want to create it from a blank form. So this is the blank form. Now we have the employee info table. We have the department table. Now access is asking that the form will be of which table. If you look at here, we have the field uh, add existing. If I click it, this list is gone. If I click again, the list is here. Now show all tables. If I click this one, you can see there are two tables in this record. We can select any of these, for example, employee code this time, sorry, employee info. So what I can have the employee code, the name, and the stuff like this. So this is the employee code. I'm just, what I'm doing, I'm just clicking it. This is the employee code. Look at here. This is the name. This is the designation. This is the department, right? This is the status, etc., etc. But again, I'm doing this as well, right? This is the close. I'm not doing it. So this is the second way I can create a record. Now create from design. Now go to design. Now this is the better approach because it helps us in aligning the captions, the text boxes, and other stuff, right? And it also helps us to add something more to it. Now I'm putting the values, the fields of the table by double clicking it. If you look at how just double clicking it, all the things that are in the table or whatever that I want to put them into a table, into a form, it is there. Then the picture, remember, select the whole of it and then double click, right? So this is the picture. So what I can do, I can move it around. So I want this picture to be here, right? So I can enhance it. I can increase the width and the size. So this is the increase. I can have, I can, right, I can change it, the size of it. I can move around. So there are different ways to do it, right? So this is what it is. Now, if you click the form one, click, you see there are different views that you may have. The form view, the layout view, the design view. Now look at the form. Now this is the outcome of what you have this particular form. You can go back to the design view by selecting design view, right? And what you can do, you can just select all of these, move them a bit lower, right? You can add, you can add something here, right? You can type the employee information, right? This is the employee information. You can have this, right? Uh, we have the format. We can format it. Uh, we can format it. We can increase, for example, 20, maybe 26. We can center align it. We can change the color of it, maybe the red one. So this is the employee information, right? Now, if you click form, then we have the form view, and look, we have the employee information. We can do a lot of formatting stuff here as well, but since we are short of time, we will not be doing it, but we can do something more to it. And that is go to form one, design view. Now, I'm adding few buttons now, right? I'm adding few buttons now. Now, I don't want to move from here and there. rather I want to have some buttons that I may to navigate the records, right? So the easiest way is from the form design, we have the control. Click this. This is the button, right? Click this one. Move your cursor where you want to put this button. This is the button. Click it, and we have the command 9. When you have the command button visit, what there are certain categories. Now look at here. We have the record navigation. We have the find next, find record, go to first record, go to last record. For example, we want to move backward. So go to first record, click this one. Then we have then we have two options. Either we can use this picture on this button, or we want to have the text, the first text, right? The first record, and then next, and then this is the first record. First record. I can have this. The name of the button is now the first record, and click finish. Now we have the first record. Now repeat this process for the last record, whatever. Then go to the last record. Next, we have the text. We have okay. The last record is okay. The next, and we have the last record here. Last record, finish. Then we have that last record, right? And we can add a few more. We can add somewhere here. This is the go to next record. Next, next, not the picture, the text. Then the next record. Next, I'm just putting the next record, right? And one more, and that is uh, uh, the previous record. Go to previous record. Finish. Previous record. Finish, and the previous record. And finish. Not this one. Okay, fine. Uh, do this. Right? We have this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now select all of these. Select all of these. We have the arrange. We have for the align, and we have, for example, top or bottom. Let it be bottom. So this is now go to form view, and now we have this simple. Now, how many records do we have? We have two. We are at the first. We want to move to the next record. Now this is the next record. The previous record, this is the previous record. The last record, this is the last record. This is the first record. So this is how you can put different buttons on this form, right? Now save it for the time being. Form, save as RM stands for form, and it is for EMP info. EMP info. So we have done the second part of creating a form. Here we can do a lot of things. For example, I want to, okay, let me do one more thing. Info form, then design view. This is the design view. I want to add more buttons, for example. This is, I'm putting another button. Now this time, record operations, I want to save record. I want to print record, right? I want to duplicate record. So in the record, in the operation, what we can have, what action that we can perform or can associate with this button, these are add new record. So what I can do, I can select this one, then add record. This is the picture text. Then this is next, and this is add record. and finish. This will help us in adding the record. If you want to delete the record, uh, we have this one, click one, and we have this one, and then we have the record operations. We want to delete, we want to save this record. Next, text, save record, next, and save. Finish, and now it's done. Now form, let's go to the form view. Now add record. Now record is added. For example, code is something, I don't know, FIN456. Then the name is, for example, Ali. This is the default. The manager is default. Now this time it is officer. Then that department may be finance. Then status is part-time. Join date may be something like go to a previous value and then basic salary. For example, if I click one, right, uh, I have, for example, 100. Now save record. If I click, the record is now saved. Now I have 3 records. But one more thing, the picture is missed. So add, and for example, this time maybe this is the picture I want to add. So this is the picture. So first record, you can move to the previous record, right? The previous record, next record, the first last record. You can add record, you can save record. This is the way you can put different buttons to this particular form. So this is the second component of the database. So if you have any question on this, yeah, is there any question on the forms? Yes, Feroz, is there any question on the forms? Form stuff is easy.
Khurram, not specifically regarding forms, but there are some questions. Sayyid Asif wants to know, would there be a section on linking the information, exporting information in access to Excel? Can we import this data set that we have prepared here, database, sorry, to Excel?
Okay, we can use a query, and then we will prepare a report, and maybe that data is exported to Excel, and maybe we will today if the time permits.
Okay.
Right?
Muzaffar Hussain wants to know, is it possible to share this form over online for data entry?
Uh, Look, the web technology. This is the different. What you can do, you can develop a forms in some of the web technology and link it with the access. That you can do. But this particular form is only for the desktop. That is, you can do. You can develop a forms in maybe the baby script or maybe the or something or HTML, and you can link that form with this table, and when any of the data that is entered through that form will be stored in the table of access that you can see.
Okay. Muhammad Kashif Ramzan wants to know, can we make calculation at form level?
Uh, we want to make calculation. Yes, we can, and this is one of the thing in my agenda today. But we will
Okay.
look into it, right?
Maya Ilyas wants to know, can we link access to ERP?
Okay, why not? ERP is a different technology, and database is one of the important component of an ERP. So, what is an ERP? Enterprise Resource Technology, where we have a central database, and that database is a place where the the storage comes from the different operations of the ERP. There are different functional areas of ERP, maybe accounts, maybe finance, maybe marketing, maybe sales. Operations which is done over here, over there, will be placed in a database. The transaction or the data that is created, it is placed in the database. So yes, we can. The answer is simple.
But the modern ERPs have their own data loaders. Uh, People in my last
Not
organization,
not necessarily.
they used to
Not
upload the data in the form of Excel workbooks through the data loader.
There are different ways to handle data, right? There are different ways to handle data. We can SQL, we can have the Oracle, we can use the Excel as the intermediary to put data somewhere, to get data to for import and export. There are different ways, there are different techniques, right? So
Yeah, data loaders
the
are part of
concept is
ERP. It's not something
uh,
separate, but data loaders are part of the ERP. Okay,
yes, we can
so
use
the next
API.
question.
We can we can we
So
can
the
use
next question is
APIs and
from.
EDIs.
Okay, Kharam, we're gonna take the
Okay, this
next
is the
question.
last.
Mohammed, yeah, last question. Mohammed Noresh Khalid wants to know: can we schedule data exports to SFTP servers from Access? You would have to explain what do you mean by SFTP servers.
Secure file transfer protocol. Uh, yes, we
Okay,
can. But,
okay. So that was the last question. Let's move on.
let's yes, let's move forward. Okay, so that's the forms. We have now 3 forms. Let it save. I'm saving it now. So once I've saved, it should be here. So we have 3 different forms. So now let's create a report. We have a now report. So we have done with the tables, we have done with the forms. We are now working on reports. Reports are simple, very easy. Uh, I'm not going into the complexity of the report because it is again out of the scope of today's session. But the concept is that how we can use Access report feature to generate a few reports. Now let's see how we can do that. Again, we have the employee info, we have the tables, right? So we can have all of okay. So we have the tables. So let's go direct from here. So create, we have report. Now let's go to the report widget straight away. I'm not designing it. I'm not using the blank report. I'm just using the report widget this time. Now this is the report widget. Now here we have the table and the queries. It means that how many we have or how many queries we have created, and we can use the data of these tables and the queries to be shown on the report. Now, if you we have at present 2 tables. One is the employee info and other is department. So we will be using the table employee info. So this is the employee info. Once I've selected this, because it is a table, all the field names we have will be listed here. So we have the employee code, we have the name, we have the designation, and we have the different stuff, right? For example, I can all of these with this. right? So these are the fields that should be shown uh, on the report. uh, I can select few of them. For example, I want the name, right? I want the designation. I want the department, the joining date, the the basic stuff. For example, I don't want picture. I don't want anything else. Only these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now, the next one. If I click the next one, right, it will ask me that what should be the priority. For it is the status. Okay, and then the next one. If you need to sort this data, for example, I want to sort it by designation, and then next, and then there are different way to produce the layout, either the columnar, the tabular, the justified. Now select the tabular, and the orientation, either the portrait or the landscape. Select any of the one. For example, the tabular is good. Now, what title do you want for your report? Employee information. Employee information, right? And then finish. Once I finish, and I have this report. Now look at this. This is the employee information. This is the designation. This is the name. This is the department, status, and joint. Now there is a problem. Now the problem is there are the number of fields. We have set number of fields is equal to 25, right? So it will take 25. The size of this is 25. So now there are two ways to handle this. Either we can uh, redefine the types where we can reset number of characters that this field may contain. And the second one is rather easy, and that is not the easy one, but what you can do, you can go to the design view of this report, right? Design view of this report. Select this one, right? And then we have the design view. Click the design view. Now look at here, we have two options. This is the report header. This is the page header, right? The page header means where is the title, the designation, the name, the department, and the stuff like this. And this is the detail level, detail information. For example, the designation is this. The record and the data will display right over here. So the report header, this one, page header will contain all the field names at the top of the header, and then the detail header means the values, the records will be displayed here, right? So what we can do, we can realign this by maybe like this, move this to backward a bit. You can use this as well here, right? So you can move this one as well, right? Or you can go like this. So we have moved like this, and okay, and okay, move like this, and yeah. So we have readjusted few of the thing, and now go to have report view. Go to report view. Now we have something. Now this is the designation of manager, officer, trainer. We have name, roles, name, forum. These are the department, these are the status, and these are the joining date. And this report is printed today, that is 1st of January, and this is the page 1 of. So this is the report that we have created, and we have saved it as employee information, right? So this is saved as well. Now we will be doing certain query stuff now, right? But we need to add few more data to it. Uh, Now what we can do, we can use the form, we can add new record, right? We need to say ADM234, name is Zahid, uh, his designation may be the chief general manager. Then we have the department is, for example, the admin status is full time. Some select any of them. This few of the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then save it, add new record. Oh, let's 6, 7 record maybe. Uh, mm, FI HR 1, 2, 3 name for car, then manager maybe the officer, and is HR, status is part-time, joining date maybe uh, this one, basic salary maybe whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this, and one more record may be saved, and then uh, again HR, then Harun, uh, maybe the manager, then department maybe HR, status full-time, joining date uh, any given date, and then the basic salary is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, and this record is saved. Right? Now we have 6 records. Now we have in record, although it's not enough, but to understand the concept of the query. Now, what the query means? Now we have the data in the database, in the tables. Now we want to get some of the data, not all the data, some of the data. Based on maybe if you look at this data, uh, we have the employee information. We have added 6 records. Uh, this is, if you look at here, the first record is Mr. Feroz, and this is department is finance and full time. Focus on these two, uh, finance and full time. Then we have HR part time, finance part time, and ADM. We haven't put the images of place that ADM. Then we have HR part time, HR full time. So we have department in status either full time or part time, and HR and the other department. To get the information, get the data from the database for HR only, or maybe we want to get the data for the full-time employee or the part-time employee. So these are some of the questions that I have in my mind. I want to get the information of this sort. So this we can very easily by creating the query. So this is the query group, and we have two options, either query design or we have the query basic. Let's do one by one because query is important. We need to do the both. Rather, we have three different ways to do the thing. We will be doing first method by the query visit. We have simple query visit. Click OK, and it's asking that from mm, uh, which table you want to uh, get the data from. We want to have the data from employee information. Uh, Employee information. What information do you want? I want all except the picture. Right. This is the picture. Picture and maybe the employee. So this is the information I want to get based on a query the condition. So the next one, and details show every field of every record. Yes, I don't want summary. Next, and this is the employee information query. Maybe EMP and EMP info by uh, by department, yeah, by state. So employee info by status, employee info by status. Now the finish. Now look at here. Uh, right now, right now, it take and generate a report. But what we want to know is the information. We want to get information either the full times, one, two, three full time, and how many HR? We have three HR. So we want to look at the data. So this is the first thing that we have done through the query visit. We have a query. Now go to the query design. Employee info by status. This is the query. Now this is the design. Now we have this is the design. Now in the design view, the table that we have here is employee info, and these are the fields available, right? And we have already set the query. The name, this is the designation, name from employee info, designation from employee info, department from employee info, and so on and so forth, right? So what we want actually, we want, for example, department. The department is uh, the HR. The department is HR. Let me see. We have the HR, right? And we are now, we can run the query. Uh, Sorry, it is the status we are looking at. It is not the, it is the status. Status is full time. Now, before writing a full time here, there is something that I need to uh, discuss. So these are the fields that we have, right? And this is the show. Show what we want to show in this query. You want to show the basic salary. If you want to show, check it. If you don't want to show, uncheck it. So it means the query will be run, but this information won't be displayed, right? So for the for now, I'm checking it. The second is the putting. This is the criteria line. Now the criteria line is where I want to put my criteria. The criteria is full time. This is the full time. So I'm a full time, and press enter. Uh, Maybe for this thing, employee status is first. Let's see it works. Now employee info by status and then run. Now look at here what will happen. We have the, so these are the people in the organization and who has a full-time status. Now, if you want to know that how many people or what are the people who are part-time, so again, this employee info by status and right click, go to the design view, and in the design view just type part part enter and run. How to run? This is the run. In the query design button, run. Click this and you will see uh, there maybe there is a typo error. uh, okay, it has to be a typo error. uh, Design view. Okay, now this is the typo error, timing double. Okay, now the run, and I should have the part. Okay, so this is one way of doing this query. Now I'm making what you may call it a dynamic a bit, not dynamic in a sense. Whenever I want to execute this query, it will ask me that uh, what sort of status you are looking at. For example, if I want to get the list of all employees part-time, then I just type part-time and the list will be created. And similarly, if I want to look at the data of the full-time, uh, that data will be created. Uh, in this, what you need to do, again, we need to go to the design view. In the design view here, instead of putting this, just delete this one, and in the square bracket, you need to type enter status, and enter status, and now run the query. Run the query. Now it's asking enter status. Now, if it is full time, the parameter value is full time. Click OK, and we have the full time. Again, if I want to run this query by going here, quick to design view, run, and this time I'm writing the part time. Part time will show me the data of part. So this is two way of getting. This is the query. Now again, go to the design view. Now this time I don't want to have a look. I don't want to show the basic salary, right? So if I this, it will ask me uh, to enter. This is full time. Click OK. Now I don't have any information as far as the basic salary is concerned. Right. So this is the basic of the query. Any question? 2 minutes for the question. Feroz, if there is any question.
Yes, Muzaffar Hussain wants to know, is there any limitation on how many records can be added in the Access database? I think it's unlimited.
It's not unlimited, it's limited. You do a bit of research. I don't know the exact number of records because it is meant for the small organizations. So there is a limitation to it. But I'm right now, I need to look into, I need to do a bit of Google and find out that how many records we can maintain. So there is a limitation that is.
Okay, Mohammed Bilal wants to know, he has the employee master data of his company in created in Excel. He wants to
Mhm.
know if that can be imported into Microsoft Access.
Okay, yes, we will be doing just after this.
Okay. There aren't any questions.
Okay, fine. Uh, let's, okay, I want to write another query, that is create, right? And this time from the query visit. This is the query visit. Now look at here. Uh, I want to get the query from employee info. Uh, this is add, right? Close. And here now we have how many? These are now we have the field, right? For example, the name. Then I have the designation. Then I have the department. Then I have each and everything apart from the picture, the joining date and the basic. This is the basic system. Okay, one thing that you can do, just set up the query and we can run this and you see whatever there is in the table we have fetched all the data. But there is another view which is known as the SQL view, right? Either you can go from here or you can, this is the query and then go to the SQL. If you click the, you will get into another view which is known as the structured query language view. Is the language, right, that is used for majority of the databases in order to fetch data from. In reporting, you will be using this particular data. Uh, Feroz, uh, if you could type, okay, let me type. There is a website, a very good one, w3schools.com. The name of the site is w3schools.com. So in w3schools.com, it's a tutorial site. You can learn SQL from this. I have learned few things from SQL from w3schools.com. So it is a wonderful site for the beginners to learn SQL. So let me show you one of the things that what I meant, that what actually is the SQL. Now, one of the famous language, the command of select. I'm using a select. This is the small, I can't uh, enhance it, zoom it. So select static. Static means that I want to display all the information of all the records is present in the table. So select static from which table? From EMP info. Select static from EMP info. This command will fetch data, all the data. So this, what I'm doing now, I'm running it. Now, if I run it, and you will see it has displayed all the records, whatever the records that I want to have. Uh, uh, all the record from the table is displayed. Now, if you want to display some of the records, uh, the records of the name, designation, and department, or maybe name, designation, and status. So in order to do so, what we need to do, go to the SQL view and select static. Instead of static, just type the name of the field name, designation. I hope the spelling is right, and status. Now what I've done, select the column names. The column name is names, designation, and status. So I want to select these three field names from which, from employee. If I click employee run query, it will display only the name, only the designation, and only the status, right? So if I go to the SQL and write where clause it here, where status equal to full time. Let me see if it works full times, and then run. Now see what will happen. It show only the data that is full time. I'm giving you the SQL view. The command is select name, designation, status. These are the three field names, the value from which we want to fetch from this table, which is the employee info, and the condition is set as full time. Only that data that is full time. So this is another way of getting the data. Either you can mm, uh, apply it from the query design, right? Or you can use the SQL view, SQL command. Both are easy. This is more flexible, uh, and this is the language of the database for the query. You should, if you have in query writing, this is the language you should learn. And w3schools.com is an excellent site from where you can get the basics of SQL, right? So I'm saving it for the time being. I can save as saved, and this is query number. Okay, now uh, maybe I'm not sure. Let me see if I have the data with me. Where is the okay, I have the HR data, right? Uh, this is the same data that I gave you the example. This is the employee data. This is the payroll data. We have the employee code. We have the first name, last name, department, joining date, designation, right? So we have already seen this data. Of you have already have this data, right? So what I'm doing now, I am importing this HR data file, which is in Excel, into an Access, right? So that I'm trying to do. So I've closed this. This is, let me now saving it and close it, right? So want to save, yes, everything is saved. Now the file, the new, the blank database, right? So I don't have now. Uh, how can I get this data, the Excel sheet? So very simple, external data, right? External data, and then I have uh, that is what I'm doing. I'm importing data from Excel. So Excel, and then I have a file name. File name is where is desktop, then access data, then HR data, right? File form is what? By Excel, right? Export data with formatting and layout, not necessarily. Click OK, save. No, I don't want to. Successfully exported table 1. Okay, and let's see, do we have? I think I missed something. Browse. Okay, HR data. I missed that. I, uh, okay, this, everything is set. What is going on? Okay, let me delete this one. Let me close all. Right, new data source from file from Excel, then access data. This is the case. We have HR data. uh, import the source data into a new table in the current. That is actually the case we are doing. Okay, now imported spreadsheet. Now we have the e-data, show worksheet, e-data. Now this is the employee code. This is the first name. We are doing it right so far. This is the next. The first row, remember this first row contains, if there are column names, right, you should click this one. It means that it will be saved as the field names for the table. Then we have next. It will asking for the primary key, field name, employee code, short text, index. We don't want to index it. No, no duplicates, no duplicates, right? And then next, and choose my own primary key. Let access add primary key. No, choose this one. And what is that? The employee code. And the next, the import to table is, and finish and close. Now we should have the e-data. So this is the data we have. Now we have this data, so you can develop the report, you can apply certain queries, you can this data, right? So it's all there. Let me do one thing. I think if we able to do that, let me create a query from eData, right? And go to the SQL view, select static from eData. I have static from eData. Let it be the case. We have this, and this is query one. Let it be saved as query one. Query one. Okay, this is the query one, and I want to create a report. I want to create a report from query one, taking all the components here. Next, uh, next, next, and tabular finish. Okay, now this is my report. Although whatever this report is, I've just click and created a report. Now what I want to do is I want to save save this report in either export text file and email. Someone has asked the question, can we export data? So this is the way to do it. We have to first create, and that report has to be saved maybe in Excel. So file name, query Excel, right, where we want to put in, click OK, right, and this report is being close, and it should be somewhere here. This is the query data, query one, and you should see that the same data that is of this, right? Although because of the formatting and stuff, formatting is bit disturbed, but this is how we can import and we can export data, right? Any question? Any question? Any question? 2-minute time for the question. Yes, guys. Any question? Can it to Excel? So now we
Yeah,
are.
Muzaffar wants to know, is it possible to add graph in the database report?
Sorry.
Is it possible to add graphs in the database report?
We can do a lot of things with the report, right? Now look at here. We have insert more charts. We can do a lot of stuff. So, but again, the idea is that in this session we have to discuss some of the basics things. So I've tried to answer a few of the questions. Yes, we can. Now look at here. This is insert modern charts. We can insert based on the data we have. uh, right? We can set up the page, we can format, we can arrange, we can do a lot of things. We can do a lot of stuff. Okay, we are running out of time, and there is one topic which is left, and that is the relation that I want to discuss. Because in Power BI session, this concept will be revisited. So let's discuss this thing. Let me close this. Uh, Let me create a new blank database. Now look at, I have this files for creating a relationship. Right? So there are 5 tables. We have city, we have dates, like product. There is another table, but I don't want, okay, because in the fact table, there is a sales record. So what I want to do is I want to import all these files, right, into an Excel, and then uh, create a relationship to get the data from these different files, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to get the external data, and then the new file source, file, Excel. So access data. So this is the access data browse, and we have the files. I have to repeat this process. Uh, Code is this one. That is fine. Uh, that is fine. Uh, Choose my own primary key. Next and finish. So we have city table we have. Then we have to do this process again. I'm sorry, there are 5 different. I need to get into file. Here the data, the okay. Uh, then first row is heading fine. Then next. Then the field name is this. This index is no. The next one. Uh, no. Choose from my own primary key. Next and close it, and we have 2 tables now. Let me have from file the Excel. The third one is the fact table, and okay, and these are the dates, and the first row date, uh, choose my, and this time the date is fine, and finish. Uh, Close. We have the fact table, and then we have other table, which is there is no that I get all these files uh, in a single tick. uh, Code. No, there's no duplicates. Next, use my own one. That's fine. And the last one is the product, new source, Excel. Uh, we have the sales rep, and click OK. And we have this one next. Code, uh, no duplicates. Next, choose my own primary key, which is the code, and next. Okay, close. Now I have city table. Look at the city table. I have the code, Lahore, Karachi, Sialkot, Sirpur, and Faisalabad. So what we did here, we have assigned one code to Lahore, 2 to Karachi, 3 to Sialkot, and 3 to Sirpur. In the product table, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products, product A, B, C. The profit margin is this much, the price is this one, right? The sales rep is 1, 2, 3, 4 is the code, and these are the name of the sales. And we have one date table, which is the year, month, name. We will do this stuff in Power BI as well, that how we can do that. But this is the fact table. This is the transaction table on such and such date, on this city, on by this sales rep. This product is being sold by this month, and we want to uh, mm, delete field. Okay. So we will be creating the sale, right? So look at here, we have the codes here, code, right? But we don't have any information of city, sales rep, and production. So the information in the city, in the product, and in the sales rep. So what I want to replicate, I want to replace these code with their respective values. So that we want to achieve. But in order to do so, what we have to create a relationship. So we have 5 tables. Go to database tool and you will see somewhere here the right create a relationship. Uh, Database tool and we have relationship, right? So these are the um, tables. So we need to add uh, all tables, right? Fact table, the product table, the sales rep table. Okay, so and so we have these 5 tables. So this is the fact table over here, and this is how we relate it. Date table contains right the single value of. So what we are doing, we are just grabbing the date and connecting it with this date. So date table is date, fact table is date, and we have the one-to-many relationship, and then create. So the relationship is created. Now we have the product, we have the code, and we have the city code. The code has select the code right from the product table, press it and drag it down to the city code and leave it. We have the code and the city code and create a relationship. And this is again one-to-many. Then we have this. Okay, this is got to be wrong. We need to delete this. In fact, this code is for product. This is the product code. This is product. Create. This is code of city. This is city and create it. And this is code. And this is the code for the save. So we want to now I have one central table which is the fact table, right? Let it be something like this. I have the date table, I have the product table, and similarly I have the save. All 4 tables are somehow related to this because the information of date, product, sales rep, city are present in terms of their codes, right? So what we want to do now, we want to get data from uh, city, sales rep, date, and product, and then create a calculation price into quantity to get the sale, right? So what we can do now, we can close it. So the relationship are created. We want to save changes to the layout. Yes, we have just created the relationship. Whenever you want to see the relationship, go to data table tool. The relationship we will have this, right? So close it. Now click the query, create query design, right? This is the query design, and look at we have tables we want. So in the fact table, uh, we want to get the date. Okay, we want to have the city added. We want to have we don't have want to have date. Rather, we have product. We want to have sales rep, and that is that's it. So we want to have the date from here. Date is fact date. From the fact date, I want to have from the city table. From the city table, I want the city. So I want the city here. Mm, this is the city, right? City table. I want city from here. First of all, let me get this one from sales rep. Sales rep from the sales rate table, I want this one, sales rate. I want this value from this table, and I want the product description from here. This is the product. This is the product. I want to have a quantity from which table, the fact table. The quantity is here. Then I want to have the price from this table, right? So this is the price. I want to have, where is the price? Price. This is the price, right? So if I run this query, you will see I have this. I have select sales rep. I have the product, the quantity, and the price, right? In the fact table, I don't have. I only have the code. We have the code here, code, and code, right? So what we want to add, we want to calculate the price. So let's see how we can do that. The view, the design view, and we want to add a sales, right? So somewhere here we can have to build a builder. So this is a sale, right? We want to add the sale. In order to do so, we need to build an expression. Build an expression, do right over here. So we have the builder, and we want to get the sales, right? Sales equal to, I guess, okay, then look at here, all the information here as well. The database is this much. Click this one. We have the table, right? I have the table, right? So from this table, what actually I need the price from the fact table. I need quantity, right? And then multiplied by which is the product, and I want to have price. Click OK, and sales. Okay, sales this one, and now let's see. We have the sales. The quantity is 1, price is this much, and this is the sales. So this is how you can perform calculations in Access. So this is the query, and remember the recommended this is the calculated column. All calculated column should be at runtime of the query. This should not be the part of the record. Should not be the part of the table. So the column like this, which are calculated runtime, because these are the calculation of this is dependent on quantity and price. So quantity and price should be in the table, but since sales can be calculated in price, this should not be the part of the database, because if it does, then your database size may be increased. Okay, fine. So that's what we have to cover it today. If you have any question, we still 2-3 minutes to go. I can answer. I have okay, 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes for the question answer session. Yes, Feroz.
Forum, there are some basic questions. Muzaffar wants to know why we use Access instead of Excel.
I just hear that there are certain functionality which are better in Access, and that is form. So you yes, we can build form in Excel, but it is a bit tedious as compared to Access. And Access is specifically designed as a database, right? So that why we Access. Now personally, I don't like to use Access, but for the sake of understanding of the basic concept of database, it is good. But instead of Access, you should use SQL database. It is there is a majority many things you can do. Excel is rather by for a very limited thing as compared to SQL.
Okay,
So
Maria Sheikh wants to know, can we make presentations in Access like PowerPoint?
no, uh, we cannot. Yes, we can have the report printed. We can design the layout of the reports, and then we may use it for these reports as a presentation. But presentation is a PowerPoint tool, is a PowerPoint software which is meant for a presentation. Remember, Excel is a spreadsheet, the database, PowerPoint is presentation tool, Microsoft Word is for documentation. So these are different areas, different domains. Every tool has its limitations and advantages, right? So we can, yes, we can get few of the things from Access, and then we can use it in PowerPoint. That we can do. So it again the strategy that you have to develop, that how you can use the database X or the report from. Yes, any other?
Yes, Babar Azam wants to know, please explain relationship types.
Okay, there are one to many, there are many to one, there are many to many. Okay, if you are coming to attend the power, we have because a relationship is mandatory in Power BI. So we will discuss over there as well. So for very basic answer, one to many relationship means that in one table there is only instance of a record. For example, if there is a primary key which is 1, 2, 3, so there should be exactly one record for one. One is not duplicated. The value one is cannot be assigned to the second record, right? So it means in table there is only one record for that particular instance. So we have only one. Then there is another table, and in that table there are many instances of one. So we may have one occur 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, right? So that means that that particular instance is occurred many times in other table. So what we can do, we can then create a relationship of one to many in order to get the basic information from the first table that may be used in the report, right? So that is the basic concept, and we will discuss in the Power BI session. Yes, any other?
Okay. Uh, Hijab Zedi, when we have Power BI sessions, Hijab, we're kicking off our Power BI sessions from Tuesday, 4th of January. Those sessions will be a continuation to this webinar, increase your productivity and efficiency at workplace. And you won't have to register separately for those sessions. Those sessions are part of this webinar. And I have a suggestion for all of you guys. As Haroon suggested all of you yesterday, like we have some certain questions that are so basic we can easily Google them. So Mohammedan's question was, how can we connect access to an external device such as scanner? And you can Google that. These sort of questions can be found on Google easily. Uh, I think it was a very informative session, and the information got overloaded at my end as well. And some participants also mentioned that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna revisit the recordings and check what steps Khurram followed and try to replicate those when I'm practicing. I would suggest you all who thought that information was a bit too much, just revisit the recording. That is the purpose of recording, so you can revisit if you don't have clarity on a specific area. So I think that will be it for today. Uh, I think we have a session for PowerPoint on Monday with a different trainer, and after that we'll be starting the Power BI. Hijab Zadi, any prerequisite for Power BI sessions? Not specifically, but if you have knowledge of Excel, that would help.
Not necessarily. If you have the basic concept of Excel, and now you have the concept of the database as well. So I think if you have understood that this, then you have met the prereq of the Power BI session.
Yeah, just don't forget to download the Power BI desktop version.
Yes, that's mandatory.
It's free
Everyone,
to download.
yes, it is free. Just go to the Microsoft website and you can download it free. It's a desktop version. Uh, when you when on Monday, Feroz, you have a
Tuesday.
session on Monday.
No. We have Power BI sessions are starting from Tuesday. On Monday we have PowerPoint.
Okay, by Monday, the Power BI desktop should be on your desktop.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's perfect. Okay, Shumel Chaja wants no. Shumel, I have shared the OneDrive link in the chat box. You can access the Google Drive. Sorry, not OneDrive, Google Drive from that link, and you will get the important links from there. It is up to date. And Hijab Zadi, Hijab, the trainer will be same. Khurram Khan will be training you guys for the Power BI. So I think let's just wrap it up. The chat box is on the right side of the panel after the polls. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up today. Thank you all for joining the session. And if you guys don't have clarity on any specific area, you guys can revisit the recordings. The groups for members and future members of Six Digits at Google Drive have been updated in the morning, and the links are available. I'll try to update today's recording on that link as well. Uh, and I think that's it for today. Thank you, Khurram. Thank you so much for your time. It was a wonderful session, a lot of information. Let's just hope that we will be able to retain that. And see you guys on Monday, inshallah.
Okay. Bye bye
Bye
from
bye.
my side.